Apa Bapak tidak salah orang?
Ali Bu Ratna, Profesor Mikologi, Universitas Indonesia. Kita memiliki orang yang tepat.
Tapi kenapa menggunakan klorazol untuk mempersiapkan slide?
Kami gunakan sebagai persiapan pengambilan sampel dari tubuh manusia, Bu Ratna.
Cordyceps tidak bisa bertahan pada manusia.
Oh boy. Is she here for an awakening?
Apa ini gigitan manusia?
That's basically spores. That's basically what it is. That's spores.
Kurang lebih 30 jam yang lalu, Bu.
Di mana?
Di pabrik tepung dan gabah di barat kota.
That theory.
Sempurna untuk itu.
Bu Ratna, kami membawa Ibu Ratna kemari untuk membantu kami untuk mencegah penyebaran. Kami butuh vaksin. Butuh obat.
Jadi tolong dengarkan saya baik-baik. Tidak ada obat. Dan tidak ada vaksin.
Yeah. Not for fun,
Jadi
guys.
apa yang harus kami lakukan?
Bom,
Oh. Oh.
mulailah pengobaman.
Oh my.
Bom seluruh kota. Dan seluruh orang yang ada di dalamnya.
Okay. Oh. Oh my god.
Morning. There's not gonna be anything bad in here?
Just you.
Oh, funny.
Shit.
If we take her back to the QZ, someone's gonna notice her arm. They're gonna scan her. And they'll kill her.
Well, better them than us. You need to stop talking about this kid like she's got some kind of life in front of her.
Are they eating beef jerky?
You take me back, you don't get your battery.
You heard that? And you must have heard that he wants to shoot you.
They're working on a cure.
I've heard this before.
And whatever happened to me is
the key to finding the vaccine. That's what this is. We've heard this a million times. Vaccines, miracle cures. None of it works. Ever.
Fuck you, man. I didn't ask for this.
You and me both. This isn't going to end well, Tess. We need to go back. If she so much as twitches.
Don't.
Wow, Ellie.
Absolutely not.
Okay, Jesus, fine. I'll just throw a fucking sandwich at them.
She's.
It's the long way or the fucking dead way.
Well, I vote long way is based on that limited information.
If you check it from the hotel first.
How old are you?
14.
Wow. I mean, you got some balls on you, sister.
Thanks.
That's really nice. Oh. doesn't sound good.
Seriously?
You think we have pools in the QC?
No, smart ass. I mean,
I don't know how I was supposed to know that.
Oh my god, Joel.
Would you like me to take your luggage? Yes, ma'am. Right away, ma'am.
you're a weird kid.
You're a weird kid. Oh, God. I'm sorry.
Oh, there you go. Don't need to talk.
Where are you from?
Texas,
What about Tess?
Detroit, it's in Michigan.
I go to school. I know where Detroit is.
Feisty.
So, you two, like,
Pass.
how'd you end up in Boston?
Pass. No more questions about me.
Long fibers like wires, some of them stretching over a mile. You step on a patch of cordyceps in one place, and you can wake a dozen infected from somewhere else. Now they know where you are, now they come. You're not immune from being ripped apart. You understand?
Oh, well, that's a very scary
You
short
gotta
one.
be fucking kidding me.
Well, there's a way across from the top floor.
Well, then I guess it's fine.
I used to take it all the time.
Okay. Oh, shit. What the fuck did that?
Maybe he was attacked outside. Crawled through the doors. The door was open. Could have been him. I don't hear it.
Who would you hear? Who would you hear? Are you saying an attempted did that? I've been attacked by one and it wasn't like that.
Okay, from this point forward, we are silent. Not quiet. Silent.
What?
No question.
Shit. Oh, no.
it was gonna happen to one of us.
Can you do that? Like to think for once, maybe we can actually win.
Aww.
Just go and watch it.
Tess.
Is it everything you hoped for?
Jury's still out. But man, you can't deny that view.
Joel. Someone wanted to act.
Holy shit.
Jesus. One of them got bit. The healthy ones fought the sick ones. Everyone lost. Tess, what are you doing?
Where did Marlene say that she was taking you? Ellie!
I don't know. Just west.
This way. Fuck. Okay, well, can you help me?
No! Tess, it's over. We are going home.
This is not my fucking home! I'm staying. I mean, our luck had to run out sooner or later.
Fuck. She's infected.
That's what I figured.
Show me.
I knew. Oh my god.
Oops. Joe. This is real. Joe, she's fucking real. I need you to get her to Bill and Frank's. They'll take her off your hands. They'll hand.
Move. Oh my gosh, he's gonna fall. Oh.
Joe. Say who you can say.
No! You're not leaving her! Get off me, you fucker! I'm not going with you!
Oh. Right, so that was episode 2. And I actually had to walk away for a minute just to kind of process everything because for an episode 2, that was quite a lot to take in. I mean, of course, everyone's going to be talking about the big thing, which is Tess. So let's go right down into that. I mean, from the moment that this episode starts, like, I mean, it's kind of insane that, you know, with everything that was happening, you know, in the world, right, with the infection and all that sort of stuff, and like they even make the one point about how there's, I think it was Joe who said this, who said, like, you know, there's been so many cases where, you know, they keep saying there's going to be a miracle, there's going to be a vaccine or whatnot, and that's just all been baloney. And then here we have like Tess, right? Like, I mean, for her, like in the beginning, we saw in the previous episode how, you know, for her it was all just trying to complete a job and accomplish a job, and, you know, get something in return. But then just having seen like the revelation of, you know, why Ellie's so important, like the way that she started to feel some hope out of everything, right? Like, I mean, just to see her really just become a big part of this episode, like, I think this really becomes a push for Joel, of course, from just the looks of it. Like, this is basically what's going to set, like, what's going to really set, you know, if there hasn't even been a catalyst at this point, it's going to be this, where, you know, now Joel is the one who needs to lead Ellie to the destination that she needs to be, whoever that is, right? From the looks of it, some guy named Ben and Frank or something like that. But the thing is that as we watch this episode, I think we all start to really connect with Tess, right? Just to feel this sense of, you know, this faith that there's a chance that something might actually help. Like, the big thing was that this might have been their one chance to win, right? And so just to see kind of Tess be, you know, kind of change that rhythm a little bit, given the situation they've been this whole time, like for the last 20 years, this is like the one sense where she felt like hope. And just to see her go through that, you know, like you can feel that from her. And episode, it really does set sort of the, not just the tone, but just the stakes of everything that's happening in this universe, right? Like, we already knew about kind of the outbreak of it. Now it's like, okay, what is the world looking like 20 years after? Like, what has been the aftermath? And we're clearly seeing just how dangerous and how, you know, how much of a high stake it is 20 years later, knowing that, you know, these infected have been around for so long that, you know, it's harder to really maneuver around the world, because from what they've explained is that, you know, if you touch like a single piece, or like if the spores or whatnot can detect you, then that's about it. They basically found you and there's no way of getting out, right? Or escaping. So that really sets a tone of that. And we see kind of like in the moments where they go to the museum where, you know, like it's like one mistake can be deadly, right? And in a sense that did end up becoming the case. Like the sequence in the second floor or the third floor of that museum where they have the two cordyceps, right? Like two infected cordyceps. That was very intense. I mean, you'll probably see from my reaction just kind of how I became really tense, and just again, just setting up the intensity of everything and of it all. And of course, like, I think the moment that I saw Tess, like, I had a feeling that she was basically infected. Like, I'm like, you know what? She doesn't look right. Like, she clearly looks like she's infected. And yeah, and she was. And just to kind of see the heartbreak coming out of Joel, just again, just Pedro Pascal is doing a phenomenal job. Once again, just him having to go through all that crap, knowing that he's lost his daughter and his brother's missing, and now his girlfriend is basically infected and there's nothing he can do about it. Just again, and not just that, but to see in the final sequences, the only thing he has left is to deliver this cargo, right? Like, I mean, so far this journey has been just insane. Like, the way that the story is being told is not so quick and fast. It's being done in a way that's very delicately done. Whether it be setting up, you know, the characters, some of the people that we, you know, go through, or setting even that's just the setting of it all, right? And from this episode, right, like you feel as if, okay, you're liking a character like Tess, right? Like right from the start of it, we're enjoying a character like Tess, who, you know, initially we kind of see her just, you know, just wanting to, you know, help out Joel, doing whatever she can to do something of her own benefit. And here we have kind of where she's feeling this sense of hope that, you know, this urgency of like they want to deliver this cargo. and wants to see kind of the end product, given that, you know, she has been affected. And that final sequence, I mean, that was just so heartbreaking. I mean, just again, I had to go step aside for like a couple minutes just to kind of take in everything that happened, because you think that, you know, everything's fine, right? I mean, and it's not like this is not unusual, right? We've seen moments where we think everybody's doing okay, and then at the end of the day, you know, there's actually bad luck. Like something more fateful does happen, and it's just not the fate that you would, you know, not the consequences that you would think it would be. But I think it's just that leading up to this, knowing that we got to be a bit closer to Tess in this situation where she's the one trying to lead the way, trying, like, showing this sense of hope and, you know, humanity in her. Whereas Joel is someone who hasn't felt that at any point of this series, or at least at this point of time. I think that, again, just watching her, you know, get infected and basically, you know, sacrifice herself, I mean, that was just hard to take in. I mean, that took me a while just to kind of just process. But yeah, that was just one thing I want to mention. I think that's, of course, what everyone's going to be talking about, the Tess scene, just kind of her contributions, just knowing that, again, we're losing another likable character in a sense, where it's like we're going through this and then it's just like, boom, like we now lose somebody so close, and it's just like, okay, now we're dealing with another sense of heartbreak, right? So I just want to mention that. But again, this is another well done episode that, you know, we have some really great sequences from the museum, the you know, the transport area, the transport location that they get to, just again, that final sequence, just giving us an idea of how, you know, intense the whole situation is with the cordyceps, the zombies, whatnot, right? I mean, and just again, just to see Joel, you know, just his heartbreak, just to see his face again, going back to Pedro Pascal, really just being, you know, giving it all out in the role as Joel. Like, even just to see the fact that this is a guy who, you know, has no faith in what's going on. Like, he doesn't think anything's gonna work out. Again, like, he even still ended up saving, you know, her in the long run, right? And not just that, but just see Tess, right? She literally grabs Ellie's arm and it's like, look, Joel, this could be it. Like, I mean, that is hard to take in. Like, there's just so much to process, right? Like, I can't, like, imagine being in Joel's position, just knowing so much is happening in just one moment. Like, his girlfriend is now infected. Oh, look, there's Ellie, who actually looks like she could be the key to a possible vaccine. Oh, look, there's a whole bunch of these spore-infected cordyceps about to come and attack them at any moment. I mean, that's just so much to take in. It's so chaotic. I mean, yeah, this episode does such a great job of really setting things up, getting us to know the characters. And another big thing I want to take out of this episode is just Ellie herself. I think this is where we're really starting to getting to know her a lot more, like her persona, everything like that. I think we really got a bit of a sense that she is a bit more, you know, this outgoing, easy, you know, type of character, you know, who likes to be a bit more jokey in a sense. And we definitely do get that from this episode, where, you know, we start to see her really flesh out this as this character, right? As Bella Ramsey really just shows off, you know, Ellie as somebody who, yeah, she's been affected, but that hasn't really changed her feistiness, the fact that, you know, she is willing to take a joke if it means it, and she has this quirkiness to her that makes her very different, which makes it very unusual given the setting of what's going on in this world. Like, so many people are being affected, the risks are really high, things are getting pretty bad in this world, and yet we have someone like Ellie who isn't taking things, you know, to consideration. Well, what I mean by taking things into consideration, like, I mean, she knows her life is short, and it's like she's gonna let herself be who she is, whether it be her quirkiness, her weirdness, or whatnot, right? Like, she likes to kind of show herself off in a way that she's willing to be outgoing about it, regardless of it. And I really I really appreciate Ellie, and not just that, but with everything that's happened, right? Like, I know that for her, she's now growing up in a post-outbreak world, right? Like, this is something that we really need to understand, is that she doesn't know the world before then, whereas, you know, somebody like Joel and Tess do. And, you know, just to kind of see how close she's getting with people. Like, I mean, in the beginning, you know, when it came to, you know, being used as a cargo who needs to be, you know, dropped off somewhere, like, she didn't even trust Joel or Tess. and so that was one thing, right? And then at the end of the day, given how much Tess was willing to defend her, like just to see Ellie just be as broken as Joel is from that last part, right? I mean that was just insane. I mean, again, they do such a great job in this episode. Like I mean, Anna Torv, I've seen her performance before. I've seen her in Mindhunter, particularly, and I believe she was in the first season. I don't know if she was in the second, but she was in the first season, and she does such a great job in the show as well. Like she plays, I think, the expert, like a psychological expert. And again, she does such a beautiful job here, just really showing just this Tess, right? Like knowing this, how she just became hopeful overnight, and how she's willing to defend Ellie throughout that whole episode, and just was hoping to see like a end, it's an end piece, knowing that she did get infected, and that maybe she can see kind of the good light of everything that was about to happen. And again, what a heartbreaking episode that was. I mean, first episode was pretty heartbreaking too, but the way that this one just really ends things off, I mean, wow, that is just hard. That it takes a lot to process. One last thing I want to comment about before, I ended off, of course, is kind of just giving us a bit of a glimpse of Ellie and Joel's relationship. Again, we're starting to see kind of the relationship play out a little bit, and I'm assuming that after this one, we're gonna start seeing them getting a bit more closer and closer. Now, of course, that Tess has now died. Just to see them, like we're still seeing their relationship is kind of in the rough, stage at the moment, just because again, like Joel doesn't really trust what's going on. He doesn't believe that she's the key to basically a way to really restore humanity in a sense. You can tell like he doesn't want to really get close to Ellie in a sense, other than just treating her as like a cargo in a way, like a product that he needs to drop off, a package that he's going to drop off. And again, like just to see the way that he just grabs her, like I mean, again, so much to process in, and I can't wait to see more of what happens moving forward between Ellie and Joel, because again, I've never played this game before. I'm not familiar with the overall story of it, but again, like this is a show that really has taken it up a notch, not just really trying to replicate what's going on in the source material, because I don't know much about the source material, but as someone like me who is more of a casual person who's watching this more as somebody who's looking forward to seeing the story, it's really done such a great job of doing that by trying to pull that story that they have, trying to put it into a cinematic way, in a way that at least progresses its storyline, and not just doing that, but also doing a way that allows the writing to really flesh out the characters, trying to flesh out I guess you can say world building of what's going on in Last of Us, which is I think the big case here, where it's really setting up the case of the aftermath of of the fungi infection that's been hitting people all around. And again, not just that, but again, giving us more of this prologue as well. Like I forgot, I was about to miss that. Giving even us that prologue in the beginning, like kind of what was happening in Jakarta, like that was implied in the pilot episode. They go more into details of that in this episode. Why, like it kind of seems as if maybe it was sort of originated in Jakarta, or it was just kind of giving the implication of why they were starting to like bomb some places, why they had the implication that maybe it was a big city sort of thing, other than the fact that there could be something more dire that's causing this. That could be it. I wouldn't be able to say for sure, but again, it's still setting up just sort of the concept of what's going on in the show, like what's leading to this cordyceps cordyceps infection, because it's not a virus, it's a fungi infection. So it's a cordyceps infection, this outbreak and everything like that. And again, so far the show's done a great job of doing that. The performances here were amazing. The stakes really are high, clearly from this episode, and holy crap, that was something to really take in, especially in those last 3 minutes. Again, that was really hard. That was really hard to take in. That's gonna take some time to process. I'm probably gonna be rewatching this episode again, just to kind of take a deeper dive of what's going on. And again, just those last moments. Like, I mean, this is a show that I feel like is really worth watching maybe a couple times just to, dissect everything that's happening. Whether it be the performances, the story, the relationships, things that we miss in terms of the details. Again, I'm really enjoying the show, even as a non gamer, and I can't wait to see the third episode again. I know that a lot of people are gonna be talking about this, but yeah, I think I've covered all the points so far. Again, I mean, Tessa's death is going to be the big discussion, of course. So yeah, let me know what you think. Have you seen the episode? What are your thoughts so far now that we are in the second episode? We're still kind of in the beginning of things. What do you think of the characters? How do you feel about Tessa's death? Like, did that hit you as hard as it hit me? Did it not? What do you feel about Ellie as a character now that we start to get a bit more of like who she is? What do you think about Joel and Ellie's relationship so far? For any of you who are gamers, how does this, compare to the video game? Because I don't know much about it. I'm going to assume that they probably stuck to kind of the accuracy of what happened in the games. What are your thoughts overall? What are your were there any parts where you kind of were pretty stiff, tense, like the way I had? Yeah, let me know anything else with this episode. Let me know your thoughts, and make sure to comment below and make sure to like and subscribe.